plays, digging into the game plan a little bit, what those looks are, getting it out of your checks, making sure everything's clean. You don't want any false starts, you don't want any pre-snap penalties, all the clean things, all the things that you're supposed to be the veteran quarterback for. Like, why would we put you out there? Because you can manage all those scenarios. Oh, and by the way, you still got a big arm. You're relatively healthy. Like, honestly, I saw him throw a couple weeks ago. He looks exactly the same as he did 10 years ago. It doesn't look any different to me. If you just didn't tell me how old he was, I wouldn't even know. So Joe's ready. I think he'll be able to lead this young group. It's going to be fun.
And the main thing for him is Joe Flacco hasn't played football within 9 or 10 months in a game, right? Remember, he was the backup last year in Indianapolis. He did start a few games there in relief duty, but just kind of getting him, like David was saying, it's game operation. Letting him get the feel of playing in the game again. He's going to be going against the Rams backups. He's going to be playing with the starters. Okay, let all these guys hear my voice. Let's see how we want to operate rhythmically so we can kind of get out of week one on a pretty high note.
Meanwhile, on the flip side, you got some young quarterbacks that are trying to move up this depth chart here. Steve, for you, when you assess what you've seen for Shedeur Sanders, not only just in these preseason games, but his college career, same with Dylan Gabriel, take me through the mindset of what it must be like for some of these coaches and the things that they're looking for today.
Well, we heard early on our report from Richie Condon that Dylan Gabriel is going to basically finish the first half, right? So let's see how maybe they run a 4-minute offense, how he does that. Then he's going to open the second half. That's important in your evaluation on how you want to get your quarterbacks going. What's their headset? What's their leadership ability like in certain situations? So I think that's part of it. For Shedeur Sanders, it's just to kind of build. We haven't seen him play. He didn't play last weekend in an oblique injury after having a really good opener against Carolina. I mean, the interesting with both is we're talking about depth chart, this and that. Neither one of these guys come week one, they're going to get reps in practice. They're going to get their reps post-practice. Because if Kenny Pickett is healthy and reports are he's getting healthier, him and Joe Flacco are going to be getting almost all the reps once the regular season starts.
The other thing is we were talking about a little bit of a resurgence with Brian Daboll. Like, maybe he's a good coach. Maybe his quarterbacks are making him kind of look pretty good. I think we got to remember Kevin Stefanski's coach of the year also multiple times. So I think these quarterbacks have played pretty good football. I think Joe Flacco is going to come and do the same thing. The interesting thing for Joe, and even for these guys, is I think that pocket movement, that old school throwback, what I was talking to Flacco about when we were out there, is they're going to bring back the old Kevin Stefanski offense. It's going to be run and play action. So can we get that old Joe Flacco out on the perimeter on some of these boots and nakeds, maybe take some shots off those play action plays? Because this type of offense loves to take those shots, but they like to do it off of action, off of run action. So that's trying to
2 years ago and took them to the playoffs. They immediately went to that with him. They knew his skill set, they knew his savvy, they knew how he knew opposing personnel, and it absolutely worked. But while we're always concentrating on these quarterbacks, let's look at the rest of the Browns roster. That's going to have to help these quarterbacks. We don't know what the running back situation is going to look like. Outside of Jerry Jeudy, they've got significant questions about the talent and overall depth at wide receiver. You have David Njoku at tight end. The offensive line looks like it's going to be okay. But they've got some pieces that, you're still wondering, is there enough to help out whoever the quarterback is once they really start getting into the guts of the schedule?
Totally. And I'm actually glad that you bring that up because that year, 2 years ago, Joe might have been the fifth quarterback that they had thrown out there.
Yes, I think so.
The walking wounded that was out there. But I still think about team identity, defense, and running the football. And I circle back to something a point that you made before about Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur. Like the warm and fuzzies, play a little more in those splash plays. We've also seen teams elevate because of sort of that added dimension there. Do either one of these guys give you more than just the warm and fuzzies where you say, hey, maybe we can level up this offense and worry less about them?
Well, I know that there's going to be some elements of the stuff that they have had in the system in the last couple of years. Even when I was talking to Joe about bringing back some of the old Kevin Stefanski stuff, they're still going to do some hybrid versions of some RPOs. And I think Shedeur's really good at that. Dylan, obviously, from Oregon, they were doing a bunch of that. So I think that there are some elements for both of those guys that they can show that maybe even Kevin's offense can be a little bit more nuanced in what they do. It's not just kind of cookie cutter from the last couple of years. I don't know if Flacco necessarily does some of that stuff. Maybe the RPOs from the he wants to run and play action. So, but if those young guys.
And remember, when that offense is functioning back then, David, Nick Chubb was one of the best running backs.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have that. So, again, they're going to have to figure some things out. But looking at these two guys, Dylan Gabriel being left-handed, right, that could be a change of what they want to do. He's about a foot shorter than Joe Flacco, too. So there's certain things that he has to do when you have to move the pocket, when you have to do some things. Shedeur, one thing we see out of him, he's great in clutch moments. I mean, the bigger the moment, that's when he really seems to stand up. So that's what these guys are going to have to use today to continue to prove themselves. Because once we continue to say it, once they get into the regular season, especially if they keep 4, There are no practice reps for this guy.
Which you think is likely, correct? I don't know if the word
Well, I mean, that's what
sounds like it. Yeah, sounds like it.
The only other wrinkle here that I'll throw in, this is a positive from a Browns perspective, both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, a ton of college tons.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that transition be really significant for a lot of these quarterbacks who get plenty of reps in college.
Here we are getting ready for this showdown between these two fighters. Should be a good one. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Hi, Todd. Nice to be here with you.
It's time for our tale of the tape. First up, we have the myth. You can see who has the power advantage. And he'll be taking
Sean
on
McVay
the
love being
legend
on that
himself,
sideline,
Saul
even though he ain't really
Canelo
calling the
Alvarez.
game.
They'll be fighting in
love
the
this
middleweight
shit.
division. And you can see one of these fighters is older than the other.
We'll be talking about this fight for years to come. This is one of...
First, the myth. From the United States of America, they are the SCI and WBC champ. Last time we saw them in the ring, they won by KO. And here is the legend himself, Saul Canelo Alvarez from Mexico. They are the WBO and IBF champ, coming off a very close win.
Look at this. These fights are so up for it. Look at that.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red...
So both those guys nursing shoulder injuries. They should be good to go, though, in week 1. Rams are going to keep it on the ground. Jarquez Hunter, their 4th round pick out of Auburn.
Corner from the United States of America, wearing the red trunks with blue trim. Here is the current SCI and WBC World Champion, The Miz.
First pick of the 2nd round, he's going to be right in the middle of that Browns defense. It's Hunter again, up the gut, and about a yard shy of the first down.
First 2 plays there for the Rams are running what we call duo, which is basically power blocking without pulling anybody. Just getting double teams at the point of attack and letting the running back find a little bit of a hole and push the Browns defensive line a little bit, but an opportunity here to third down and step up and get off the field.
Getting a good look at Malik Collins, one of the free agent signings, a 10-year vet on that defense.
You better let him throw.
3rd one. Whistles and a flag. First one of the afternoon. Here's our referee, Brad Allen.
One of my favorites.
You guys all look at each other when that happens. Where do you
Some guys, you look at the center of that, you go, well, they didn't call my number. Because I've had a few times when Alex Mack
More cub.
Fighting out of the blue corner from Mexico, the current WBO and IBF World Champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Fans are ready, and it looks like the fighters are now ready.
Todd, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here at this venue. It's going to be something special.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. Here we go.
Y'all better turn up on this nigga.
These athletes have been waiting.
Man can still spin it. Huntington, one of the defensive linemen, the fullback, he pushed it into the way of the
A long time to square off. Here we go. That right hand got him. Right hand, right on point. There's nothing quite like the chemistry between a fighter and their coach, and this partnership is working great. And that straight got him. Straight right just misses. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Just missed with that hook.
He knocked his opponent almost out of the ring. That's what you call stamping your authority. So if you're getting in there with him tonight, you're going to make sure, you know what, I've got to make sure I've got a landing mat, because this is going to be a tough night tonight.
That counter punch caught him clean. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Done with that counter shot. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. We just saw it.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Here we go, round 2. Who's going to land the first big shot? Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you won that hands down.
That counter punch caught him clean. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered.
Yeah, I totally.
It's like a game of chess. They both got their swords. They're slinging it. The perfect counter lands. You two are the perfect dance partners.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. It's more than happy.
These punches. This is a historical moment. Not many boxers get to 50 fights. Absolute war. Counter punching. Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. Oh my word, Canelo just got clipped. A big heavy blow, and Saul is down. And look at that shot to the head, and there's no way they were going to stand up to that.
I need to see that again.
Out of the early going. All right. He's ready. Rams under the leadership of Dresser win. Jarquez Hunter remains in the backfield. Rams will keep it on the ground for not much. Right in the middle of the Browns defense. And one thing we're keeping our eye on, Joe, the back seven, particularly the quarterbacks, Ward and Newsom. I think there's a lot of question marks right now.
Yeah, Ward banged up his shoulder, so he's not out there today. Those guys are Pro Bowlers. We know what we got there, but with the loss of MJ Emerson, they've been looking for that nickel slot corner to be able to step up, and they think they has moved into that role for the safety. It could possibly be that answer this year, so we'll be watching for that.
2nd and 8 for the Rams. Play fake, win, and chase. It was Miles Harden that would have had an easy pick 6 if he could have stayed in bounds. And Harden is one of those guys that's vying for that slot corner. Missed opportunity for him in this Cleveland defense.
Russell Wentz sucks. Russell Wentz sucks. Russell Wentz is so horrible. Russell Wentz fucking sucks. Oh my God, bro.
Well, this
Russell
next
Wentz
round is going to
fucking
be
sucks.
crucial considering the knockdown we just witnessed.
Russell
Make or
Wentz
break the
fucking
contest.
sucks.
Let's get it started in round 3. He got knocked down in the last round. Let's see what he can do here.
What a knockdown. 1 minute. You need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Nice exchange here from both men. He threw a punch and just got countered. Good arm positioning, blocking that hook. You know, we may be in for a short fight. This fighter, an absolute animal. Look at the KO percentage. Hold on to your seats, folks. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Caution being thrown to the wind.
Burgers instead.
You guys hungry? Hope you don't mind sharing. Take one down, pass it around. Beautiful.
The highlight clip.
This boxer is a real hook specialist. Their opponent has got to watch out for that. It's bombs away. He threw a punch and just got countered. That hook doesn't score. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is...
Back at it in round 4. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round. Everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Hi, Chris. Still
He blocks the uppercut.
Your boy had a brilliant little girl and his two older sons.
You know, we have to rank them as one of the best in the weight class. Canelo Alvarez just got... What an upset here as Alvarez goes down. Let's see that again.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
Stephen told his second brother, Daniel, and Daniel said, nuh-uh. Papa told us he didn't believe it. Saw the new ever. Tough audience.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your eagle's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It sounds so hard for a fighter.
Halfway through the round, and I think he knows he's got a lot of work to do.
Not the best start, Bob. You know what? The cornermen now it's down to them doing their job. Get through the round, regroup, right, freshen up, boom. Different tactics.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here.
Watch all these dudes right here.
They're giving us a high-tempo show.
Four of the 5 guys.
Final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure.
You know, I don't feel like
He's been knocked down, but at least not knocked out. There's the bell for round 5. He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
I knocked someone down like that round. You know this round coming up? He's getting everything full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this is what's going to happen. I'll be very, very surprised.
3rd and 9 for the Browns. Midway through this opening quarter. Let's go.
This fighter has a very good win-loss record and will be tough to beat.
Nice job by the rookie out of Tennessee.
Missing with the hook.
The Browns starting to backfield.
We've never seen Canelo. The pound-for-pound king, Canelo is down. How about that technique on that headshot? Let's see it again and appreciate it more.
Where did that come from?
They look at his lower leg. We will take a break. Update. Browns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're out.
It happened. You saw it here live. A knockout win. Congratulations.
Well, there's no argument right there. You say it. Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of boxing, your winner by knockout and the new SCI, WBC, and WBO World Champion, The Miz.
It felt like it was something that was fun. I mean, he's the
Learn about adopting a kid at adoptkingskids.org.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. What's this? We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency. Thanks, Pizza. Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Browns preseason football on News 5 is brought to you by Toyota. For all Toyota offers, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And unfortunately, the place where Ethan Posick went was the blue tent. He did walk off under his own tower. We'll get you an update momentarily. In the meantime, Luke Whitler, the third-year center out of Ohio State, presented by Milkrone. Milkrone bringing more dogs to the dog pound. Rams bringing a blitz on that, stopping Sampson. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be second and long.
Harold Bennett Jr., the Browns have trusted tight end, I think was in there, and it looked like he was a little bit confused about who he was supposed to get there when the Rams blitzed off their left edge, and just nothing got blocked. He was able to get in there and run back and take it to the ground.
Jerome Ford is checked back into the game. Once again, the starters expected to play between 20 and 25 snaps. Flacco, another throw. Looks. Maybe he didn't know where to block on the previous play, but he knows where to go. He catches the pass.
Some guys, you don't wait 5 deep about a block where they can catch like that and get themselves open, making themselves available. Great job on the speed poster. Flacco looks off the safety and then comes right back to Harold Bennett Jr., who catches the football and then takes the hit all the way into the end zone. Great job by the young player hanging on to it. When you get those quick posts in the red zone, you've got to be ready to secure the football quickly and take that hit and go all the way to the ground with the ball. Excellent job by the young tight end.
Dustin Hopkins on for the PAT. He nails it. Browns take over in Rams territory. March 43 yards. The pride of Cam McKinley. Bowling Green, his first NFL touchdown as Bennett gives the Browns a 7-0.
Labor Day savings are happening now at their home store to turn your projects into labors of love.
I'm loving these fall colors.
I love what you did with the place.
So what are you working on?
Shop Labor Day savings at the Home Depot. Now through September 3rd.
A car that doesn't make everyone feel like a priority is a car that stops short of amazing. At the Legends Golden Opportunity Sales Event, get offers on select models.
There's no greater classroom than the great outdoors. That's why Nature Valley and the National Park Foundation are helping kids across America experience the wonder of nature. Life happens out there.
Nature sure is full of wonders.
Red Bull gives you.
Okay, Brian, craziest touchdown ever.
Tennessee touch. Music City Miracle.
Like the snags, they stuff one in the park. What is it?
Man.
That's it. What? The Shag available? Yeah, because he's not going to say it's everything. But he thinks that he'll go. New customers spend $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus plus over $200 behind NFL Monday ticket on YouTube. Crown, of course.
Welcome to Titan University Year 5.
The softer it is, the more we got to run.
And the TEU, if wherever you came in, you just take one more step.
All right, here we go.
There's like 80 NFL Titans that be rocking.
It's tight.
Let's have some fun tonight, baby.
Cleveland Browns scoring drive presented by Howard Hanna. Win big with Howard Hanna, the official real estate provider of the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco 4 for 4 on that drive, including a 15-yard TD toss to the rookie Harold Bennett. Aditi?
Chris, Ethan Posick walked into the locker room of his own accord. I'm watching Dylan warm up right now. Looks like Joe Flacco's
All right. So Kevin Stefanski told us 20 to 25 plays. The third rounder out of Oregon will be up next. Hopkins kick, taken by Presley, trying to get across field. He's got nowhere to go. He gets swallowed up by Christopher Edmonds at the 16-yard line. Today's Browns Trivia is brought to you by Franklin University. Franklin makes it possible for you to earn an affordable degree that fits your life. Hey, who was the youngest Browns player to make a Pro Bowl appearance? Myles Garrett, David Njoku, Joel Bitonio, Denzel Ward. We have the answer coming up in a bit.
You feel pretty confident about that? You didn't look it up, right?
I did not look it up. How old were you when you first made the Pro Bowl, bro?
I think it would have been 23.
Okay.
But I think those guys were significantly younger. Miles, I think 20. Same with Njoku.
Well, let's not give it away.
No, when they came in the NFL.
I got it. Whistle and a flag. Looks like delay a game.
Prior to the expiration play clock, the charge timeout. Los Angeles, they're first. It will be 30 seconds.
We talked about operation, right? Which is always the boring thing to talk about in preseason, but it's really what the coaches want to get out of this game. If you're looking at the Browns starters, and what you just saw there is what Kevin Stefanski does not want to see from his starters and from any of his guys, because you're coming out of a timeout and you almost go through the whole thing. I have to waste a timeout. That is a bad ball.
I guess Sean McVay didn't love it either.
Sean McVay is going, come on, guys. I know I didn't bring all my dudes, but let's get the play in. You guys have had it for 40 seconds.
The pride of Miami University, by the way, born in Dayton, Ohio. His formative years down in Georgia, where he actually won Football Player of the Year over Calvin Johnson down there. That's Hunter with some bruising running up near the 20. Defensively, you just saw Jim Schwartz now in his third year as the DC. And 2 years ago, this was the number one defense in the NFL. Fell to about the middle of the pack a season ago. But based on what we've seen in camp, and especially those two joint practices with the Super Bowl champion Eagles, they could be back to the 2023 level.
I'm not sure how explosive this offense is going to be. It's going to be more of the ground and pound and take shots with Flacco. But watching that defense against Carolina, and then specifically against the Philadelphia Eagles offense, I think gave Browns fans a lot of confidence because they were completely dominant from the front all the way to the coverage and back end.
Well, that's Malik Collins making the stop. 10-year vet, signed in the offseason. He's originally a third-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys. Wherever he has gone, whether it's been with Houston or the Raiders or Dallas, the guy has always produced. Just a pro.
Those are the guys that you want, especially on the reliable. They're always going to maintain their gap. They're always going to be a problem for the offense.
3rd and 6 for the Rams, still looking for their initial first down of the game. Keeping it on the ground and getting nowhere close to the sticks because Isaiah McGuire continues his remarkable run this preseason.
Yes, through Isaiah McGuire. He already had 2 pressures on the Rams quarterbacks, but there is a play.
Let's see what this one is. Don't call taunt.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 57. Automatic touchdown.
Okay, well, that's one of those that the league has started to tighten the screws on in recent years. I suppose celebrating is one thing. They're drawing the line pretty early here in the preseason. Make sure the guys know during the regular season that's going to be a no-go.
Preseason, there's a lot of time for the officials to emphasize and call a little bit more than they normally would on some of the points that they've been talked to by the NFL that they really want to make sure that they tighten things up. So that's something that maybe doesn't get called in the regular season.
So first down, and that ball's incomplete as Devin Bush knocked it out of the hands of Stoops.
Devin Bush doing a great job here, recognizing the route coverage, seeing the eyes of the quarterback, breaking on the play, and sticking his hand out there to disrupt the opportunity for the receiver to catch the ball, bring it all the way into his chest. Excellent reaction there by Devin Bush with his eyes on the quarterback first, and then finding where that ball is going and disrupting the play.
It's going to be a fast line action crew with Bush, Schlesinger, and Diabate this year. Rams again on the ground, and again it's Devin Bush. loss of a yard.
Jim Schwartz doesn't care that this is the preseason game. He's blitzing. He's treating this game plan just like he would in the regular season. You see Devin Bush there from his linebacker spot to the offense's right, running right through the middle of that defense again. That quick recognition by him.
Cleveland, they're first. It'll be 30 seconds.
Quick recognition. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate you cutting me off there. Quick recognition by Devin Bush, understanding what the play is, seeing the ball, and then blasting right through the A-gaps of the Los Angeles Rams for a big play.
All right, we will pause now for a word from Sarchone Auto Group.
I'm Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns. Proud to be a member of Team Sarchone. Join us as Sarchone Auto Group as we drive towards a brighter future. Because when we come together, on and off the field, we can accomplish anything. Community, teamwork, strength. That's what we're all about.
Well, that's the most airtime Myles Garrett has gotten here in the preseason. Good job.
Hope he's not tired after that long commercial there. We saw him warming up today a little bit.
Yes, in pads.
There in pads. So.
And actually, he was the last Brown to leave the field during pregame to a thunderous ovation for signing that 4-year extension. 3rd and 11 for the Rams. Win. Plenty of time. Good protection. Leaks out. He's going to run it. End up about 6 yards shy of the first down.
First time the Rams' offensive line has been sound in their protection. Browns are running some stunts there. ETs, TEs, trying to get their guys free. Just rushing forward for one of the few times here we've seen today. And great job by the Rams, but the secondary for the Browns holds up in coverage and forces the punt. That's really the way you draw it up. You're only going to send 4 on a 3rd and long. You got to have that good tight coverage in the back end and expect a throwaway or quarterback just scrambling and getting out of bounds.
Looks like Joe Flacco's going to get a 3rd bite at the apple. He's got his helmet back on. Where's Carter from the 10? Gets it up to the 20. And here comes Joe Flacco for a 3rd and perhaps final series. 5 for 6 today. The lone misfire, his first attempt of the day to Jerry Jeudy.
It was really a ball that Jeudy should have caught. Flacco threw it low and away. Not an easy catch. In fact, could have made it, but that's one that you'd like to see caught. So for Flacco, a very efficient outing thus far.
Jack Conklin, the right tackle, has been removed from the game. So Jackson Barton, number 68, is checked in. Teller and Jones, the 2 opening day starters, remain in. Once again, if we hear anything about Ethan Posick, we will pass it along. Flacco on a play fake, dumps it out to Ford. Nice adjustment on the catch. Gains about a yard or so before being brought down by Cam Lampkin.
Jerome Ford does a great job finishing with the ball in his hand. A couple times down the sideline already, we've seen him lower his shoulder, gain a couple extra yards there. Running after the catch, giving a nice little move near the sideline, but just not going down easy, right? That's that mentality that as a running back you want to build, even in preseason, even in training camp, so it carries over during the regular games.
2nd and 9 for the Browns. That's Pierre Strong for the first. Dragged down after a minimal gain. Strong was great last week in the win. Philadelphia ran 13 times for 89 yards. Has a real burst about him. Averages 5 yards per carry. He's a guy I'd like to see get in on the action a little bit more.
Yeah, with Quinshon Judson's status with the Browns still a little bit question. They're going to be the workhorse backs for the Browns this season. Ford's done a great job. They've had some really nice play from Bill and Sampson. Here Strong at the right tackle. Not missed his block on that one. You may have some space there for him to run.
3rd and 8. Screen set up. Plenty of space. Very Strong. Gets the first down. Past the 35 and the 40. Browns with a perfect play call against the Rams.
Really nice timing on this screen. You'll see here the Browns do a great job of starting the protection and then getting out in time. Saw a great block there by number 56, Luke Whippler, the center, who's in for the Posick injury. And great job there with the finish on this run again. Not going down easy, getting those extra yards. converting that thing to a first down and keeping the chains moving.
Minute and a half to go here in the opening quarter. Flacco is connected on 7 of his first 8 for 55 yards. Flacco to throw again. And first down into Rams territory, down to the 45. But David Njoku became a different player when he signed up at the end of the 2023 season. These guys have tremendous chemistry.
Those guys have a special connection. Flacco feels so comfortable with the way Njoku finds the little open space, those windows. Kind of like if you remember Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. It's like they're just playing basketball out there. They're going to an open spot. Nothing that's written in the playbook, but they just have that great feel between the two of them.
Called him a beautiful human being.
Classic Njoku comments there.
Flacco again. Bannon. He's got nowhere to go. Well read by the Rams. Look at this spin move. He was not fitted. That's about as good a 2-yard reception as you'll see at this level.
That was a fun one for being a play that really was sniffed out early by the Rams. It was supposed to be a tight end screen. They were kind of all over that. But you know what I really like is that Browns have had a physical training camp this year, and you're seeing the results on the field here with that physicality.
Well, the Browns starters have played the balance of the first quarter, and it has shown a little sparky. That's right. Harold Bannon Jr. connected with Joe.
It's not just important. It's really important. All types of sports. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Which is why over 90% of customers are delivered from friends and family. Luxury mattresses made of That's the sound of happy and DQ. Keep white meat seasoned chicken strip, fried, dipped with toast, and DQ signature country gravy for just $7.49. For brunch time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket.
When Verizon gives you a free $400 plan, you use AI a lot.
Gemini show me his humor.
The long, thin tube in the middle.
Like, a lot. Get a Google Pixel 10 Pro on us.
Wait, out of here.
Americans, we can do anything with one thing. You just can't stop being American. So get out there, take this win. Have your engines and let freedom ring. And never, ever stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Right now, during the Ram Make Business Summer event, get 10% below MSRP or get 1.9% financing for 72 months on some 2025 Ram 1500 models.
The preseason is wrapping up. Week 3, NFL Network has 6 live games. It's the last chance to stand out. And for the young guys to make a name for themselves. Week 3 of NFL preseason. So
Make it happen.
Today's first quarter stats brought to you by Park Place Technologies. Park Place Technologies supporting 100,000 data centers in 180 countries and your Cleveland Browns. And aren't they glad that they did? The Browns with another dominant quarter. In fact, the Rams' long first down came courtesy of a taunting penalty. Joe Flacco spinning it. 9 straight completions. 6 different receivers have caught passes. It's got to go in here. As do the Browns, opening play of the second quarter. Flacco, pressured, dropped. Elias Neal with the sack. In the meantime, the Browns' last drive resulted in a touchdown for the first-string offense from the Wood. And then Dylan Sampson with the spin move to eventually set up the rookie tight end.
Junior running the post, doing a great job securing the football, taking the hit, and getting that touchdown in the NFL for a guy that's playing college ball down the street. That's got to be a big moment, even in the preseason.
3rd and 18, Browns will keep it on the ground. Strong gets back few, and so let's see if it'll be punt time. It will be, as Corey Marquez trots onto the field for the second time today. So the Browns are moving yet again, but the sack did him in. It's an area they're definitely going to have to clean up. Only Caleb Williams was sacked more times a season ago than the Cleveland Browns quarterbacks.
And a lot of those were just getting on the same page with your protection schemes between your tight ends, your running backs, your offensive line, and then the quarterback knowing where he's protected. That one, then we had a sack of Monty Marshall, didn't use great technique and blocked inside out on that linebacker who was able to slip him to the inside and get him back.
Offense, number 22, Audio County, 4th down.
So false starter motion, 5 yards back for the Browns.
Give our punter a little bit more space there. We saw Corey Bojorquez on his last month standing on his 20-yard line. Boot the ball, landed on the 1-yard line, bounces back. So he's got plenty of leg and probably actually is not upset about backing up a little bit.
Well, you can keep it going for him. Last year, he booted an 84-yarder against the Raiders. It was the longest in Browns history. Stoops to return and calls for the fair catch at his own 11. All right, time right now for your trivia answer. It is brought to you by Franklin University. Franklin makes it possible for you to earn an affordable degree that fits your life. The question was, who's the youngest Browns player to make a Pro Bowl appearance? You want to guess?
I would guess Myles Garrett. I think that's a safe bet. Oh, Denzel Ward. Close.
21 years old, the first of 4 Pro Bowl appearances, and coming off his best season, by the way, a year ago. It was tough for the team. He was outstanding.
And Greg Newsom called him the best quarterback in the league this offseason, and he's really played like that thus far in the season.
Cody Schrader in the backfield for the Rams. As Dresser Wynn remains in the game. Looks deep, looks left. Overthrows Terrence Ferguson, the second-round pick out of Oregon, who caught an awful lot of passes from the Browns' third-round selection, Dylan Gabriel.
Rashawn Jenkins there doing a nice job. He's got man coverage. They're trying to run, we used to call it like a stop route. Basically, it's just an inside fade there, where when you have inside leverage by the defender, you got some space on the sideline as long as you don't get any hook curl player that's sliding out there. But good job, Rashawn Jenkins, squeezing the receiver to the sideline, giving the quarterback nowhere to throw the football.
For a guy who played offensive line, you know a lot about catching the ball.
I can look at spaces. I can't catch it. I can tell you what you should have done.
Not true. Not true. End around. That's Presley. Getting up toward the 20. Good spin move. Dom.
Dom Jones in there on the tackle. He's going to be one of the guys that they're taking a good look at here and trying to figure out what type of role can he have in the secondary this year with, like I mentioned earlier, the injury to MJ Emerson, trying to figure out what that depth is going to look like behind Newsom and Ward.
Yeah, it's possible the Browns are going to be doing a little cornerback shopping up down Tuesday. 4 o'clock, Cleveland time. Schrader right up the middle. As a lot of the Browns' second-team defense is in there now. Gain of almost 8.
We talked about Jim Schwartz's defense again, really impressive. All preseason, pretty much unblockable from that defensive line. And one of their marquees is the way that they run to the football, the way they hit, the way they play physical, you know, kind of reflection of the defensive coordinator's attitude and the type of person he is there. So a little soft on that direct run from the Rams. You'd like to see them tighten it up here, maybe send the pressure right here from their linebacker core.
Presley in motion. He's going to get it. And he spins out of a tackle. Does a nice job to get the ball back. Maybe a yard gain. Devin Bush had him wrapped up for just a second. Actually, it was Shoyinka who had him initially. And then Bush to clean it up.
Nice athletic play there by K.I.N.G. Shoyinka, seeing the jet sweep and being able to just run upfield, get his hand on that receiver. It's a tough angle for him. You've got a guy who's already faster than you running towards the sideline, and you got to be able to make that play. Otherwise, that guy runs a long way down your sideline.
3rd and 2, Rams on the ground. Schrader tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and he'll lose 1. And they'll bring the punt unit back on. So the Browns defense tightens.
Browns sent secondary pressure there. Great job by number 28. Rashawn Jenkins get in there, getting physical, clouding up those gaps to the inside where the Rams are trying to run, giving them an opportunity to get off the field. Here, forcing the Rams to punt.
12-year veteran Shelby Harris in on the action there. Now in his third year with the Browns. What a great career he's had as originally a 7th-round pick. Evans for the 4th down, and Carter's going to watch it sail out of bounds. Well, Joe, Flacco's day appears to be done. Up next, the 3rd-round pick, Dylan Gabriel, makes his home debut for the Browns with a 7-0 lead.
Playing for the Cowboys is different. They were icons. Disruption, conflict, those kinds of things produce success. Jerry looked at me and he says, we'll make sports history. Then the wheels came off.
There's trouble at America's team.
Who won and owned Dylan. This is a soap opera 365 days a year.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of sport.
Literally melting your mouth tender. Let's see our chicken glistening, our fajita sizzling. It's magic happening. And this is going to be in your bowl. This is it.
Remember last time? Texas version of packing late. I'm going to call her right now. We should call her. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Jess, we're downstairs. Only one bag, right?
Of course.
Hey.
You gotta be kidding me.
Jeez, how did you even find this thing? It's a maid, of course. Wait, I think I forgot.
Oh, grand plans. Need a Grand Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
And we're back live, where this team is facing their toughest opponent yet. And they game plan for this one. They're going with USPS Ground Advantage Service. He is locked in. What a handoff! You'd love to see that kind of team.
On Sundays, it's all about game day. The best go to business, getting you ready for kickoff.
This is why people love football.
Good check time for all these teams. Coast-to-coast live reports and in-depth analysis.
We're going to focus more on that run game. This is our football.
And every post-game wrap-up after the final whistle.
This was a fun one.
NFL Game Day, which on Sunday, September 7th on NFL Network.
Browns preseason football News 5 is presented by Huntington Bank. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Cleveland Browns. Speaking of which, our quarterback profile is also brought to you by Huntington Bank. They've made a change. It's the 3rd-round pick, Dylan Gabriel, who went 13 from 18 in a starter's role last week. The win over the Eagles, however, a couple of turnovers. He's going to look to improve on that.
Looks great, except for those 2 turnovers, which is hard to say, but when you're rookie in your first start, you got to take the win of operation, decision-making, and just trying to clean up those 2 mistakes here in this second opportunity.
The air strong, spins forward for about 3. So with Gabriel, and then we'll see Shedeur Sanders, the big question is, does this organization feel comfortable with them being 1 snap away?
Yeah, the plan all along was going to have Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett competing for that number 1 spot. Flacco wins it almost a little bit by default because Kenny Pickett has a long hamstring injury. And the speculation now is, hey, these young guys have looked good enough in their first 2 opportunities that, hey, maybe they can be 1 step away and make them really the backup quarterback when the season starts.
Gabriel to throw across the middle, connects. That's Jamari Thrash for a first down past the 35. Those 2 had a great connection last week in Philly.
Well, Gabriel showing a veteran-like ability to look off the defense. Look at that. He's looking to his left first, and then he comes back all the way across the middle to Jamari Thrash. The second window on the big route over the middle. Great job manipulating the defense with your eyes. Something that a lot of times you just see with veteran quarterbacks.
Gain of 15, gets the ball up to the 30. Strong remains in the game. He'll get the ball. Big hole, and he takes a big hit. Tanner Engel delivered the shot, but a gain of 8.
A really nice job by them. Recognize that the Rams are bringing pressure from over there. They saw the little slant game that the Rams are trying to make and actually stunt what the Rams are trying to do, open up that lane for Pierre Strong to just run straight. And if your running back can grab the ball and just run straight up the field for 8 yards, that's what we call a good run for the offensive line.
Amani Marshall, who's been really impressive as an undrafted rookie free agent out of Appalachian State, checks into the backfield. Gabriel, pressured, spins, rolls left, and just wisely throws it away.
The type of play that the fans are not super pumped about, but the Browns coaching staff is really happy because it's decision-making as a rookie quarterback. It's deciding when to try to make that play and take that chance. And then sometimes just live to play another down. Throw the ball out of bounds, try to get out of the pocket, but understand you don't have to win the game on every single throw.
Particularly when you gain 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's 3rd and 2. You're still in a very manageable situation to be able to pick this up. So good job knowing the situation as well. Good job by my man over here, Chris Rose, identifying that as well.
Well, Ortiz not really much of a rookie. Marshall is going to get the first down and get it close to midfield as the drive continues. So, big picture here, what do you think the Browns are thinking with their 2 rookies at this point? Obviously, a lot of it depends on the health of Kenny Pickett. He's a guy they loved. It's why they traded for him in the spring. They thought he'd have a legit shot to battle whoever they would bring into that quarterback room, and ended up being Joe Flacco yet again. It's going to be an interesting mindset for the next 72 hours.
A lot of speculation with Kenny Pickett most of training camp. Are they going to be able to keep him around, keep 4 quarterbacks, which is unorthodox because then you got to make harder decisions at some of the other positions and got somebody maybe that you want to keep, but realize that Pickett, even though he's not your starter, he still has good value, right? There's a lot of teams that value him at some point in their roster, maybe if there's injuries across the league at the quarterback position that somebody might come calling, so possibly keep him around to maybe have him be the backup if you don't feel great about Dillon or Shooter, or as an opportunity to maybe get something from him in a trade with another team.
The Browns have been steadfast in their analysis of their rookies that these are both developmental guys. They have treated it as such. Strong again, burst for another first down. I like his explosiveness, by the way.
Yeah, he's seeing the blocking schemes in front of him really, really well. Jenkins, the right guard, does a great job getting hip to hip with his center on the double team, creating a little bit of vertical displacement, putting that defensive tackle into the lap of the linebacker, and then allowing Pierre Strong to pick his play, pick his hole. In the middle, he's going in. Boom, he jumps out as soon as that linebacker comes downhill, picks up that first down.
I don't know if you salivate when we're talking about offensive line play or your Wagyu beef.
Yeah, it might be the whole thing beef, but it's not really a tie. At this point, though, I'm not hungry. I'm just hungry for some more O-line play, baby. Let's go.
Gabriel rolls. Marshall wide open inside the 30, inside the 25, and another easy Brown first down.
Gabriel booting to his left, to his strong throwing arm. Doing a great job just making the routine plays look easy, and that's so important for a young quarterback because you're going to get very few layups in the NFL, and you've got to be able to deliver when you have those opportunities to give your guy not only just a catch, but a catchable ball where he can run and make some yards after catch, just like he did there.
Browns off. Backups in for both sides. The Rams obviously started their backups. Gabriel turns, throws, overshoots Caden Davis. Time right now for another sideline report presented by Sugardale. There's more on the quarterback situation.
Chris, one more point to add to what you and Joe are saying about Kenny Pickett. Kevin Stefanski has repeatedly said you cannot say enough good things about him, and he has repeatedly called him a good teammate. I can tell you through 3 games standing here on the sideline, whatever quarterback comes over to the sideline, it's Kenny Pickett who immediately sits down next to him, who has the tablet with him. We saw it all last week with Dylan Gabriel. When Tommy Reese was up in the box, it was Kenny Pickett trying to coach him up.
Thank you, Didi. Gabriel trying to squeeze it into the grass in the window. Gets knocked away. And it'll be 3rd and long for the Browns. Yeah, Kenny Pickett is about as disappointed as anybody that in late July he pulled up lame and just was never a true part of this competition from that point forward.
Yeah, I think when the Browns signed him this offseason, there was every intent to make him the starter. And then you bring in Flacco, and then you say, okay, well, let's have them compete, but we feel really good about whoever wins that job. But like you mentioned, bad hamstring injury earlier in camp, and never really had that opportunity.
3rd and 10 for the Browns. Gabriel Across the middle, connects. Whiteheart gets flipped head over heels, but it's another first down. Good toughness by one of the guys that's vying for that third tight end role, if there is one on this team, and he's going to walk off with a little bit of a limp. And with that, the Browns are in the red zone, presented by Milkbone. Milkbone bringing more dog to the dog pound.
Good job by Gabriel bouncing back there. 2 misfires at the beginning of that first down series and comes back on third down when you have to be big. You want to be a big-time quarterback in the NFL. You got to make those plays on third down, finding the window, delivering a catchable ball.
Marshall picks his way forward to about the 10. Not much there. So how would you assess the play of the 2 rookie quarterbacks so far?
They've both been very impressive, I would say. And it has not looked like the moment was too big for them. Many times, I mean, having a million rookie quarterbacks, you see them in practice, they're doing good stuff, you feel like they're making progress. All of a sudden, they go out there in the game and they lock up because it is a big deal when you're playing in the NFL. I don't care what program you came from. This is a different level of pressure. This is a different level of reading defensive decision-making. Both those guys have shown very cool, calm poise when they're back there at quarterback.
Gabriel looking in and out of the hands of P.H. Larvidan, who's had an outstanding camp. They're headed at about the 5. Said it'll be 3rd and 8.
Browns running just short pass concepts here, a bunch of stick routes. Quick out here by Larvidan. He uses the speed cut, so instead of making a hard 90-degree angle, he's just kind of bending that with speed, giving the quarterback a great opportunity to throw the ball. And I like Dylan Gabriel just being decisive on that concept. Get the ball out of his hands quick. Get it to your playmaker. Unfortunately, that was Gage Larvidan. Puts the ball slip right through his fingers.
3rd and 8. Gabriel retreats. He was looking for flash in the corner of the end zone and couldn't quite get it done. So the Browns have to settle for a field goal.
Browns get a little bit of pressure there from the right tackle, getting pushed into the quarterback, but Dylan Gabriel does a great job recognizing him, escaping the pocket, but I don't love the decision to throw the ball. That was not really much of a window to be able to throw it towards the sideline. I would love to see Dylan Gabriel use those wheels and try to get himself into the end zone.
Let's remember, he was nursing a hamstring earlier this camp. This got cleared last week, returned to team, and then the game. The field goal is good by Dustin Hopkins, and the Browns have yet another scoring drive. This one courtesy of their 3rd-round rookie, Dylan Gabriel.
I should have a thing in.
No, I'm going to NFL Plus.
When prime time comes on with NFL Plus, keep the NFL in reach. Live on YouTube. It's going through. It's like the universe is trying to tell you to cancel your Friday plans.
New to the big city? Yeah. I'm Mara.
Hi. Apparently Progressive lets homeowners and renters bundle with their auto policy. 24/7 protection for all of my things.
Hey, I love that you protect all my stuff, but could you tone down the creepiness? Sorry. I'd do anything for you, Emily. Still creepy. Right. Nature Valley protein bars are here to help you in your game with a deliciously chewy classic and a new creamy twist. There's protein in here? Introducing crispy, creamy protein from Nature Valley. Try it today. Happy birthday, Grandpa.
A word of wisdom for the family? Eat more wings. Wow. Let that sink in. Kids, I think you'd all agree that these were words that your grandfather used.
Remember to kick off your mornings with Good Morning Cleveland. Tiffany Tarpley. Mike from the Bank, and meteorologist Trent McGill, and more of everything you need, more local news, consumer news, traffic, and Power of 5 weather, so you're all set for the day ahead. Browns get a short field goal from Justin Hopkins to take a 10-0 lead. That scoring drive is presented by Howard Hanna. Win big with Howard Hanna, the official real estate provider of the Cleveland Browns. Mixed bag for Dylan Gabriel in his first drive, just 3 of 8 for 43 yards. Hopkins to boot it away. Trader will take it. There's a flag down. He's going to get past the 30 to 35. They're going to wrap it up there. Devontae Casey, Christopher Edmonds in on the stop. Not a ton of flags here in the first half.
Illegal formation. Receiving team number 45. The 5-yard penalty. Just from the play. First down.
All right, time right now to check in with Aditi Kinkawala, with a man who's started the game and is done for the day.
We are indeed here with Joe Flacco, who's done for the day, but for the first time in 7 months, live action. How did it feel?
Yeah, it's. I can say, like, you get through some of the little stuff that you have to get through when you go back out on the field for the first time with live action. So I'm glad that we were able to get out there and get some plays under our belt today.
9 for 10 incompletions. The one incompletion went to a guy who's supposed to be your number one receiver. Just 6 different pass catches. What's the confidence to be gleaned from that?
Well, yeah, I don't listen. I don't think it was anything perfect, but to just get little completions, get the ball in guys' hands, and then just see what they can do with it. I mean, you saw a little bit of that in the third down that I hit our back out of the backfield with. And he made a couple guys miss. And that's what this game's all about. Getting it in your playmakers' hands and letting them go win the game for you.
We see the way that you're walking around talking to the offensive linemen. Now that it's officially your team, what's the difference?
It's going to be tough for me to admit there's much of a difference. I think I kind of am who I am, and I'm able to be that, even without that title. So I think as far as the team's concerned, it's always good to have a guy that you can look at and know that he's going to be the guy that's under center for you. And I think it's just a good way to give everybody confidence going into the season. Like I said, I'm going to be that same person no matter what. But yeah, it feels good to be able to look at the guys in the eye now, knowing that I'm going to be out there.
The conversation surrounding this team, of course, is the makeup of the quarterback room and how deep will actually go. This many years in, how much do you think about what sort of support you'd like in that room?
It's funny. I think I probably take for granted what's in that, what that room is all about, because I've been part of a QB room for so long. But it's a special place. It's one of the toughest positions to play in sports. So to have a room that you can kind of all go in and feel good about, kind of bounce things off of each other, and also just have good laughs and have good relationships with is important. And I probably do take that for granted a little bit. Listen, we got a good room. We got a lot of guys that like to have fun, and a lot of guys that are learning football. They're young and they're anxious to learn, and it makes for a good environment. It keeps me, on my toes, and I'm loving every bit of it.
Young too.
Of course, hanging around these guys at least gives me the illusion that I'm still a young guy.
Last one. Do you think that your children enjoyed this performance?
I'll be interested to see how much of it they watched, or if they're swimming or doing something like that. They enjoyed it. I don't know if they're going to tell me that, but they enjoyed it. They're enjoying every bit of this. And honestly, them enjoying it the way they are is one of the big reasons why I'm still able to do this and have so much fun with it. They make it that much more special. So.
Well, hopefully Daniel believes you are indeed the starter.
That's right.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Best of luck this week.
Appreciate it.
Joe, you're allowed to run home and tell you if you are indeed the starter. Whether they believe you or don't want to believe you, you are the week 1 starter.
Sounds like they're going to have to find him at the swimming pool.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're not going to be glued to the TV, apparently.
A couple of big pass plays to their second-round pick. Terrence Ferguson had gotten the Rams in the red zone for the first time today. In fact, they had to run a play in Cleveland territory until this drive. Dresser win. Looking, plenty of time. He's got space on the left side. Rolls, complete. That is a nice catch there by Drake Stoops. Getting it down close to the goal line, inside the 2.
Browns at man
back in it, forcing Rams quarterback to have to scramble around because he's got a good protection but nobody to go to, and then with a great coach half down the sideline, Stoops is able to catch that ball with Tony Brown. Just too much time in coverage for those guys to have to hang on. Got to get some pressure from your defensive line.
Good job by DeMonte KZ to submarine Schrader before he can get in for the score. Rams are on the move, down 10-0 at the 2-minute warning.
Time to start your business. It's time for Shopify. Designed with easy to customize themes. Sell everywhere people shop. And never miss a sale with the world's best converting checkout. See how millions of businesses sell with Shopify. Start your free trial today.
Labor Day savings are happening now at the Home Depot. Turn your projects into labors of love.
I'm loving these fall colors.
I love what you did with them. So what are you working on? Some Labor Day savings at the Home Depot. Now in September. Remember, these Reese's Big Cups have a layer of chocolate lava, not lava. That stuff looks delicious. Oh, what are you lava?
It looks so good.
Just a little taste. Don't eat lava. Eat new Reese's Chocolate Lava Big Cups. We're back! Ah, did you miss us?
Money talks.
I need reps.
You know you did. Because you need to get your draft game ready. And we got your back.
I got you.
NFL Fantasy Live.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right? I always feel like I can solve my own problems. But eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own. And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. And you realize that you're not alone. Once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Look, in the studio with this game break is brought to you by Best Buy. What's going on right now? It's the Broncos and the Saints. Oh, next to Deal Cortland Sutton for the touchdown. Well, it's been a 14 passing, 110 yards. Great catch. Not forget, 4 games for you here on NFL Network. We're almost at halfway point. First one, Seahawks and Packers at 4 Eastern, Jags and Dolphins at 7, and then it's the Raiders and Cardinals both of them out at Steve Weiss, David Carlby coming at the half. We'll get your assessment on the quarterbacks that rock that Cleveland Browns. It's up to Joe Flacco. We'll expect Sanders, and of course, get you back out to game action.
D is around here as well. Executive Vice President of the Cleveland Browns, J.W. Johnson, checking out the Browns. Defense trying to stiffen here on 2nd and goal. Schrader in the backfield. Play fake to him. Win. Throws. Touchdown, Stoops. And somewhere, Papa Bob, the former Oklahoma Sooners coach, is celebrating his son's touchdown.
Rams do a good job. They're faking the jet sweep in one direction. All the blocking goes in the same direction, and then you boot out. And a lot of times on the backside, you get Stoops, you get those backside receivers acting like they're blocking down, and then the secondary for the Browns just lose track of who they have to be covering because they're thinking about their run fits. They're seeing that eye disguise going in the other direction with the jet sweep motion, and then completely leaving Stoops open in the end zone.
Joshua Cardi on to connect the PAT, and the Rams have their first points. They're down 10-7. Dylan Gabriel. Good news is you get to run a 2-minute drive in your first home game with a 3-point lead.
Bank with a big bank. And I bank with Borrow and have a free bank account. Free? Yep. At Borrow, there are no bank account fees at all.
I got a free mug.
Cool, and I have a free bank account. And I get started today at borrowmoney.com.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
Literally melt in your mouth tender.
see our chicken glistening, our fajitas sizzling. It's magic happening. And this is going to be in your bowl. This is it.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage? Next up, we have Ned.
What if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Just gotta pay myself. Nice. Hi, I'm you, with more gusto. My hair's growing back. Team's digging the new flow. It's just me. Correction. Team of 7. We're growing my teeth. Get payroll that grows with you.
It's beautiful.
Week 3, NFL Network has 6 live games. Last chance to stand out. And for the young guys to make a name for themselves. Week 3 of the NFL preseason. Live on NFL Network.
Whoa.
We upgraded our TV at Best Buy, and now they feel like they're...
NFL players arriving on game day? Well, the feature detail is seriously pro level.
Football's back. And this season, everything's next level. Every detail of game day dialed up. It's football like you've never seen it before.
Is that my purse?
Get great deals on a large assortment of TVs at Best Buy, official sponsor of the NFL.
Gabriel here with some live action 2-minute drill. See how he can operate, see how he handles the pressure.
Ball's going to be taken. It's a wobbly one. Carter's going to pick it up at the 5. Doesn't even make it to the 15 before he gets wrapped up. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our broadcast affiliates today, presented by Ken Ganley Kia. I want to see you at Ken Ganley Kia. All our great Ohio affiliates, also our friends watching on NFL Network nationally, and our newest affiliate all the way in Honolulu, Hawaii, to check out one of their favorites, Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, the people at KGMB, they got up at 7 a.m. for kickoff today.
Aloha. Hopefully enjoying some banana macadamia nut pancakes as they're enjoying their boy, Dylan Gabriel, out here in the 2-minute drill.
Browns with a couple of timeouts. Trevion Williams into the game in the backfield. Gabriel to throw. Looks, throws, completes. First down, that is Gage Larvidan with the clock running. Medini.
Chris, 2 not ideal update. Tight end Blake Whiteheart is out with a knee, and Pierre Strong is being evaluated for a concussion right now.
All right, thank you so much. Browns have had to deal with their share of injuries all preseason long. Another connection, that's to Deontay Johnson for the first time, the veteran, trying to make it at the back end of the roster. Today's player to watch, though, presented by Tostitos. Tostitos team bags are back. Scan the QR code to win an epic Browns game day experience. It's the undrafted rookie free agent out of South Carolina, Gage Larvidan, who's been great this camp.
Yeah, Gage has had a great camp. Trying to find a spot on the roster for him, but with potentially keeping 4 quarterbacks, it'd be tough to keep 6 receivers, but he's one of those guys who's done such a great job, you almost have to find a spot for him.
Gabriel throws. Ooh, another dangerous pass. Incomplete. He was looking for Larvidan.
Gabriel going back to that sideline with a quick out being run by Gage Larvidan. You got to be careful going back to the well 2 times in a row because those cornerbacks, they're on defense, so they're not as smart as those offensive guys, but even those guys every now and then, they can figure things out and have an opportunity to maybe jump the play and make a game-changing play for the Rams in 2 minutes.
Whistles and a timeout by the Rams.
First timeout. Los Angeles. The second will be 30 seconds.
So we expect to see Dylan Gabriel play into the second half, and then Shedeur Sanders will make his home debut, and that is going to be very interesting because Shedeur Sanders Boy, he has had a ton of fans, a groundswell of support ever since really his days at Jackson State. It followed him to Colorado and then through the draft process, which was a wild roller coaster of emotions. I got to say, this kid has handled himself extremely well since he has come to Cleveland.
He has handled himself really well. What a tough situation, thinking that you're going to be one of the top picks in the draft and then sliding all the way to the 5th round. I think even people that didn't love him coming out didn't expect that to happen, but he's handled it with grace. He's done a great job handling the competition, but Gabriel doing and saying all the right things and then playing great in his first opportunity a couple weeks ago.
Gabriel across the middle, connects, gets the ball into Rams territory. It's Larvidan with a nice connection. Gets it down to the Rams 47, clock running. Cleveland still with 2 timeouts. Gabriel throws, thrash, first down again.
Dylan Gabriel doing a great job with quick decisions, throwing the ball accurately, but he's got to be careful. He's throwing a lot of outbreaking routes right now. You got to watch for a trap corner where it looks like the guy you're looking at might be playing man coverage where he can fit it in, but then they fall off with the outside corner and make a jump on those routes.
Gabriel first and 10, dumps it down. Trevion Williams gets it to the 30, and the Browns utilize their second timeout.
Dylan Gabriel listening to our broadcast, understanding he can't keep picking apart with the quick outs and throwing it to his running back there, which puts him in field goal range and gives him an opportunity.
Well, everybody's smarter when they look at you.
Well, I don't know about that, but certainly in that moment he was using his big brain.
So, when they go over that in film, is that something where they say, hey, you can get away with that on 1 o'clock on a Saturday against a bunch of guys in the back end of the roster, but that will not work on Sunday?
Whether it's practice field in Berea or Philadelphia or out here on game day, like every rep you take is a learning experience, even if it's a great rep, because in that situation they're like, hey, great throw, we love the decision making, but now here's the next level, the graduate level of thinking you need to be ready for. It's like, hey, they're going to adjust on defense. They're not just going to sit in the same coverage. They're going to look and see what your tendencies are throughout that drive, and then all of a sudden the guys up in the box are going to say, hey, let's run this coverage, because that can take advantage of what the quarterback is doing and what he's looking for with his first read. And so just being nimble at that quarterback position is something you're learning as a rookie.
Gabriel, a ton of experience in FBS record, 63 starts across 3 different schools. Gabriel throws wide open Sal Cannella for the first time inside the 25. Cannella, first-year man out of Auburn. He's got some nice things in the preseason games.
Yeah, Cannella's done a really nice job there. We got Gage Larvidan as the wide receiver out wide there. Of course, that's what we call him, the wide receiver. And just throwing a nice little pick for Sal Cannella, being able to run towards the sideline. Well, when I said it, I realized how silly it sounds. But that's why they call it the wide receiver. But it's a 2x2 formation. And Dylan Gabriel picking a side, going to it quickly, being really decisive in the 2-minute drill.
First and 10, Gabriel over Larvidan. That is one of those balls that is dangerous for the receiver. Tanner Engel got a shot on the undrafted rookie. We've seen a few of those sail on Gabriel.
Yeah, that was one that he's going to walk back. He starts to his right, comes back, and I couldn't tell if the ball got tipped in the line of scrimmage a little bit. That's why it floated kind of high, because that's a dangerous throw. I think from an offensive standpoint, I like kind of taking a little bit deeper of a shot towards that middle hash mark part of the field, but when it gets tipped, it leaves your receiver in a vulnerable position.
Second and 10. Brown still with one more timeout to go. They're going to set up a screen. He's got blockers in front of him. It gets down to the 20, and the Browns will have to use their last timeout as Trevion Williams was stopped. Actually, nice job. It looked like the waters were going to be hard for him, and then quickly swallowed up by the Rams defense.
Yeah, Zach Zinter's out there leading the parade, and it looked like he didn't really know if he should block the corner and block out or turn back inside and block the safety. But what they tell the first man out in a screen like that is pick somebody and be decisive and don't block them. Because if you're kind of pitter-pattering between two guys and you're not decisive, the running back doesn't know who the guy is that he owns in that situation. So he's waiting to play off of your block. You don't make a decisive decision and take somebody, and then all of a sudden the guy you weren't really paying attention to because you were thinking you're going to get outside takes out your legs.
You should teach a screen class in Madison. Screen blocking 101.
Screen
The Browns are in the red zone presented by Milk-Bone. Milk-Bone bringing more dog to the dog pound. And the Rams will burn their final timeout.
Los Angeles, they're turning final.
They got scared, I can tell.
All right, I know it's only preseason, but I'll let you throw on your offensive coordinator cap here in terms of what you're trying to do. Why not? Let's have a little fun with it.
Well, what I'm trying to do here is thinking that I want to see Bill and Gabriel play out this drive. And so you got an opportunity where the Rams are thinking, we got to protect the sticks. Third down. If we can stop them here, we're going to force a field goal. Or if I'm the Browns, I'm going, hey, we got the whole field available. We can throw it for 2 or 3 yards, try to gain a yard or 2 yards after catch, and then be ready for that quick situation where before you let the Rams substitute or get the different defense, get on the line of scrimmage, and you run a quick quarterback sneak or you run another play before they have a chance to get ready.
All right, 3rd and 7. No timeouts for either side. Gabriel 7 of 9 for 67 yards on this drive.